a little bit of question as to whether or not the trail begins here at Staten Road or if it begins further up at the gate. Just by default, we're going to assume that it begins here at the road, which is why I'm walking in that direction. In addition to myself, Brett James Stewart, we have Scott Lavender, whom you see ahead in the film here. He is the principal photographer for Blue Ridge Hiker, and he will be measuring the trail today and taking photographs and video aside from the GoPro footage. This is Staten Road. And this is the beginning. This is the entrance to the visitor center. It's nice, got some nice rock work here. There's a sign, Buck Forest Road. And we shall begin our hike. There's a large parking area, graveled, very nice. We have a very well done visitor center. They also have a few odds and ends here, I think. I believe there's a classroom. I guess that's probably for school children who come up for field trips. There's a kiosk with the trail systems here. There are a number of trails accessible from here. This parking area is also known as High Falls Access Area. The Aline Steinberg Center, named for a supporter of DuPont State Forest. Very pleasant looking lady. She's got a painting of her in the visitor center. The visitor center is now closed. What I mean is it's closed right this second while I'm here. It's open in general. There's a kiosk with the trails right here in this area. Some other information like you'd expect at a kiosk. Nicely done. Got an attractive gate here. A nice crow. We'll throw the crow footage in there for you at no extra charge. Nice covered bench. Here's the junction with High Falls and Buck Forest Road. We're going to take Buck Forest Road. What's that road coming in there? Maybe the new road off of the parking area, the other end of it. Not certain if that's the case, but I think so. Conservation Road trail. This is Conservation Road we're on now. This road, I'm sorry, we're on Buck Forest Road right now. We're heading toward Conservation Road. Many of the trails in DuPont are actual roads like this. Others are roads that are narrower, or roads that are going wild, if you will, so they're closer. A lot of the trails are graveled. The roads make the trails easier, especially, I guess, for cyclists. Backed up water. I think it's actually a creek. I think it just gets backed up. It's slow moving, I believe, or no, I guess maybe just overflow wet water, wet weather rather. Creek. Jack pine beside a couple jack pines beside a oak tree. DuPont is mostly what's called a cove hardwood forest. Predominantly hardwoods, but you'll find a lot of pines, white pine and other kind. White pine is the most common, I suppose. And the cove portion of the moniker refers to the mountain coves or the valleys and so forth. The valley floor pattern creates little coves, very common in western North Carolina. Sucked in some dust there, sorry. The junction with Triple Falls Trail. These bushes with the white flowers, it's the time of year, excuse me, they bloom. Each one blooms every other year. It is called mountain laurel. What it technically is, it's Comma-latifolia. Around here in the Carolinas and Virginia, it's referred to as ivy bush. Frequently confused with the what we call laurel, it's a rhododendron maximum, which is rhododendron. Now, point that out when I see some. Here's a young one. This is a laurel right here. And this is an ivy bush. The ivy bush has shorter leaves, more paddle-like. gas line in either direction. Choked on something. Coming into view is the covered bridge, which is a popular destination or feature of this area. The covered bridge is on Buck Forest Road. It crosses the Little River just above High Falls, just upstream. These white pines are pretty. Covered bridge is very well done. It's very attractive. Has great rock work. Really, folks who keep up DuPont Forest really put their love into it. You can tell it's very nice. There's the Little River access here, a small, well, it's also the Little River access. There's a small access here. It's good to see the chain link fence, or the split rail fence, pardon me. This is a junction with Buck Forest Road and Covered Bridge Trail. Covered Bridge Trail is very short. It connects Buck Forest Road with Triple Falls Trail. You can get down to the river there. See nice stonework, woodwork here. Up in the top there, the eaves, you can see the laurel or ivy bush trim, I guess you would call it. And I'll show you the river. This is the very top of High Falls. Beautiful here. This is the evening, incidentally. We it's about 5 o'clock or so. Here's upstream. Nice and quiet here. It makes me wish I were canoeing. Here's the junction with Conservation Road, Buck Forest Road. Buck Forest Road from this perspective continues on straight. Well, really this is kind of a fork, but the left fork would be Buck Forest. Conservation Road connects Buck Forest Road and it goes all the way on to the other end at Fawn Lake, accessible most readily off of Reason Over Road. We're going to turn right. A nice low kind of boggy area when it's wet. Weather's nice today. It's a little bit warm. Breezy, overcast. It's a little darker. It's normally not this dark at this time. Hey, how are y'all? Beautiful day for a hike. Have a good evening. This is the junction with Pitch Pine Trail, the Conservation Road Trail. Pitch Pine, I think, is a loop. Come back in down here, further down. Spur trail or something there that probably goes down to the river, the little river. I don't know why all these pines and things are dead. Maybe burnt. Maybe burnt. I think I smell an old fire. Yes, actually you can see some water there. I don't know if that's the main river or if that's, surely it is. It's too large to be a feeder creek. Little river is indeed small at this point. We're near where it forks out. Yeah, I can see the black of a fire there. Maybe a controlled burn from last season. Large white pine, hemlock, a couple nice hemlocks. See, they're dying. Woolly adilted. These guys won't grace our forest long unless they figure out how to counter that. Make tea out of pine needles. Steamed them for a pretty good while. I don't think that, in my opinion, it's not particularly good. A lot of people use it for medicine, but you can just drink it. And I personally think the white pine tastes the best, but you can use any of the pine needles. I didn't bring my hiking stick today, and I miss it. I had the hiking stick when I was doing some other trails that kept showing up in the video, so I didn't bring it today to see how the video looks a lot better without watching my hand and hiking stick running in and out of the frame. Open area, I like these. They add some variety to the forest. Go snag. Pine grove on either side of the road here, especially to the right. There's usually a creek in the bottom like this, but I don't see one. Oh, maybe this is it. Very small, but there is one. This is a junction with Joanna Road Trail, Conservation Road Trail. I'm adding trail. They're on the maps. They just say Conservation Road or Joanna Road, but I use the term trail to designate, you know, a walking trail that you would hike normally. Many of them, as I mentioned before, in DuPont are roads, so you'll find like Conservation Road Trail and so on. It's pretty common. again. Can't really see it. Oh, stream down in there. Another nice semi-open area here to the right. Create what's called edge habitats, where the forest comes up to a more area that's more like a field or semi-field. Some people claim that they're great for the wildlife as it creates additional food sources. Others argue that it's not a natural occurrence and therefore should be avoided. You know, essentially you just shouldn't do it. But I don't have an opinion myself, but there is some question as to whether or not the edge habitats are viable or not, beneficial or not. I shouldn't say viable. They're the nice light greens of the leaves. There's a wild rose bush. Oh wow, what a great aroma. These are pretty when they bloom. I mean when they flower. Yeah, they're pretty when they bloom too. Cut area. I've got a little sign and a fence and something up there. I don't know why that is. Some sort of notice on these trees. Oh, it's a hemlock restoration study. I was mentioning that hemlocks before. The woolly adelgid gets in them and eats on them and basically strangles, if you will, the tree. The tree gets to where it can't get enough nutrients. They're doing some sort of study on them here. The plight of the hemlock reminds me strikingly of the chestnut tree, which is pretty well gone. There is a chestnut conservation project where they're trying to figure out how to breed trees or propagate trees that are blight, the chestnut blight. Is what was killing them, blight resistant. Here is Three Lakes Trail in junction with Conservation Road Trail. But the hemlocks, both of these were, the blight and the woolly adelgid were introduced by bringing in foreign plants and things to which the native species had no resistance. We lost the chestnuts pretty well everywhere. They still sprout and you can still find young chestnuts, but after a certain period of time the blight kills them. So they never get beyond sucker size or sapling size perhaps, but they don't grow up to regular trees without I guess maybe never. I'm not sure if those that they're trying to propagate get larger or not, but I'm talking about what you find in the wild. The hemlocks, the good thing about the hemlock is they figured out, people realized what was happening with the hemlocks faster than with the chestnut blight of the early 20th century, early to mid. And so I think that they'll be able to save the hemlocks, and the hemlocks eventually will reinstate themselves. The forest, being the mixed hardwood forest, it's got enough diversity that the forest itself is going to be okay, even with the loss of the hemlocks. But we don't want to lose them. They're beautiful, and they also help, or as you know, everything's symbiotic. The way the Lord made everything interconnects. The hemlocks are important because they're frequently along creek beds and things, and it keeps the water temperature cool for like the brown trout. And that's just the one I know. I'm sure other species and things benefit from it. Here is the little river again. Have a nice wooden bridge. See if I can get to where you can see here. Little cascade there. Some sort of propagating some trees or something over here too. The view downstream, we got trees in the blue, I'm going to say sleeves, I don't know what those would be called technically, on either side of the river. You see the river's quite small here at this high. It's the Lake Julia spillway. Lake Julia is one of the 3 lakes from 3 Lakes Trail. I believe Alfred Lake is the other one, or one of the other ones, and Lake Dents, I think. I may be misspeaking. I'm saying that from memory from looking at the map. I've not hiked the trail myself. Hi, how are you? Hardwood trees planted and protected with tree shelters. I guess tree shelters are what those are called. Normally you can't drive back in here, so I don't know if that woman works here or what. I think the lake, that looks like a lake's dam right here at the top of the little horizon, the immediate horizon here. I guess maybe that's maybe the edge of Lake Julia. Well, of course it would be, because of spillway. Excuse me, wouldn't necessarily be at the edge of the lake, edge of the dam. There it is again, coming down to here. All the lakes in DuPont are artificial. In fact, I think all the lakes in Transylvania County are artificial. The terrain is not conducive to lakes. Here we can see the tree shelters, blue tree shelters again. Some kind of plowing or something going on in the center there. A dead pine tree, in marked contrast to the green. thundering. Hope it doesn't actually rain on us, but water's nice for the waterfalls. Some kind of road to the right here. And actually it goes off to the left here as well. No sign or anything, so it's not a hiking trail. Pretty tree. 2 trees. I think that's an oak tree, I'm not sure. A little closer. Clearing here to the right again. Maybe this is Bridal Falls Road. A large rock. Now these are oak trees. They're pretty. Yeah, it's Bridal Falls Road Trail. Total of 0.6 miles one way. Cleared area here. Bridal Falls Road Trail. Leading to, of course, the namesake waterfall, Bridal Falls. Named because it resembles, with a little bit of fancy, a bridal veil that a bride would wear. This portion of the road is Easy, I believe it is designated easy on the map. A nice rock face here on the right. DuPont's full of these guys. Very rocky. Pretty rare to have a trail of any distance that doesn't have some sort of rock face or something. It's a nice fenced in area. Looks like there's a stable there. Or a barn or something. Picnic tables and things. Little shed or something. Little grill. A truck. I don't know what's. I don't know. They store hay in there or what? I don't know what this is for. I mean, obviously it's for horses and things, but I don't know. Like why? I don't know if this is a place where horsemen come to camp and things or what. See the rocks. The rocks are typically on the top, toward the top of areas, but they can be, you know, pretty much anywhere. More common up toward the top as the soil's thinner. Well, the sign is gone. That might tell us what this is. A nice purple laurel there. Actually, a couple of them. What does it say? Something trail. Purple laurel. Barn trail. Aptly named, I guess. Walk back to Bridal Falls Road here. Continue on. A lot of white this time of year. The wild roses, some of the briars. I guess they may be blackberries, raspberries or something. And the ivy bush. The laurel generally blooms in June, although of course that depends quite a bit on the sunlight, warmth, climate, if you will, microclimate, wherever they happen to be located. But generally speaking, they bloom in June. Also water the strawberry blooms, the wild strawberries along the ground. white daisy, some daisies. There's a snake. Phew. And I don't have my stick. I evidently do not have good aim. I'm not trying to kill it, I'm just trying to get it to move. I can't get it to. Oh, I can't get the thing to move. Come on. Probably could just walk around it, but I'm afraid of snakes, actually. That's why I'm pulling back. I guess I'm just going to walk to the side. I don't know if they'll be mad at me or not. I'll just walk to the side here. Alright, I do believe that this is the end of that trail, the Bridalville calls road trail. We'll turn around a little circular area here and the falls just beyond. I'm not sure technically where the trail itself ends. I don't know if it ends right here at the road or if it ends at the observation area, but we're going to walk up to the area so that you can get a look at the falls. Horse tie out to the right. The screen. And holly. There's a junction with Cornmeal Shoals Trail. Cornmeal Shoals Road, I believe it is, on the other side. Connects Cascade Lake Road on the other side, or ends at Cascade Lake Road on the other side. Cornmeal Shoals access area. Some fencing and things. Here is the observation deck. Bridal viewing platform. Trail goes on down to the bottom. I'm not sure where this trail ends, to be honest. I think it ends here at this platform, but obviously there's a gravel trail there that gives access to the river, so let's follow it and assume that it goes to there. I think it does, maybe. Well, this says dead end trail there. Makes it maybe seem like we're past the end, but we're going to walk out anyway. You see the falls here. It's actually this portion of it is a cascade. See an actual waterfall up there. Drops down and runs, and then runs at this cascade here. Very beautiful set of falls. It's large too.